As a church leader, I have probably failed more than I have succeeded. Okay, so I can talk about the things that have gone well and that we've done that have been good in the last few years, but I tend not to talk about the things that haven't gone as well. But if the truth is told, I've probably screwed up more things than I've got right, okay? Which isn't, again, to say I haven't got things right. Let's be very clear about that. But I've my fair share of screw-ups as well. And it's important to talk about that, actually, to talk about failure. And today we're talking about how we grow leaders, I guess how we bring them through, how we help them thrive, and learning how to deal with failure is probably one of the most important things in that. Learning in ourselves how to deal with it and learning how to help others deal with failure as well. Teaching our leaders how to process it, how to realise actually failure in many ways is our friend. And so some of the things that I think about failure, well, when we fail, we have to stay creative, okay? Now, sometimes the temptation is when we fail is to become very conservative, to back away from trying new things. Actually, creativity is how leaders come through, getting to test out their ideas, to have a go at stuff. Actually, if every time they screwed up, we stopped them from doing things, then not much would get done. We also, when we fail, need to be honest about why we fail. So, for example, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, me and one of the guys in church just desperately wanted to have an evening of worship in our evening meeting on a Sunday that was entirely electronic, okay? That was the plan, and he had all these gizmos and a couple of singers, and we went for it on that evening, and we got any number of things wrong. I mean, the music was ace, but nobody understood it. The words, I don't think anybody understood. It was a well-lit room with rows and seating. Any number of things meant it didn't work very well, but we learned a lot from it, and actually it meant some of our musicians could be more innovative and have more fun, be able to lead us in worship in lots of different ways. But it took a bit of a crushing failure in order for that to come through, but we had to be honest about that to learn the lesson. Another example of being honest about failure is there was one summer, again about 6 years ago, where we tried to plant a church in the university summer break. We thought, let's have a crack, we'll try and plant a church, and in retrospect we now realise it takes a little bit longer than 3 months to plant a church, but we had to talk about it, we had to be honest about it, and actually that hasn't stopped us planting. We've probably planted 4 or 5 since then. And also with failure, we want to be public about these things. We don't want to kind of hide them or spin them away or keep them on lockdown. Actually, we need to talk fairly publicly about why things have gone wrong. Also, to grow and bring through leaders, like I've said, we need room for creativity. We need room for people to be entrepreneurs. People need to know that they can try things without fear that they will get punished when they go wrong. And so we try to build that into the culture in Manchester in our church, CCM. We talk about culture a lot, and I guess a few of the ones that really affect this are we have a go culture is what we call it. It does exactly what it says on the tin. We want people to have a go at stuff. It's that simple. We want them to have ideas and to try them out. We also have what we call a think the best culture. And really, we want to go against cynicism, actually. We want people to think the best of each other, to think someone else's intentions are good. And that in that, we celebrate together when things go well. We applaud other people's successes. We're joyful for them. But we also mourn together. And part of that is we want to think the best of each other. And finally, we have a second chance culture. So we're really in a second chance culture. We try and ask what went wrong, how can we improve, and then how quickly can we try again. We believe all of these things actually are very helpful for bringing through leaders in teaching them how to deal, how to appreciate failure.